Good morning, Monarchs. Welcome to the second video for lesson 3.5. If you have not watched the first video, please go back and do that now. We went over these first couple examples here. Okay, so next we're going to graph all real numbers that are greater than or equal to -4, but less than or equal to 0. Okay, so we are greater than or equal to -4, and we are less than or equal to 0. Okay. All right. So we have our x in the middle here, and it wants all real numbers that are greater than or equal to -4, but less than or equal to 0. So I know that -4 is going to be first, but now I want to think about what should my sign be here? We want all real numbers to be greater than this. And anytime something is greater than something, the mouth of our little alligator, the mouth of our sign opens towards that. So we want it to open towards our all real numbers because it's all real numbers that are greater than or equal to -4. So we're going to make that open up towards our x. Okay, but then it's less than or equal to 0. So we're going to do less than or equal to 0. And this is our correct inequality for that particular sentence. Okay, so just like before, I'm going to split this into two separate kind of sides here. So I have the first one I want to graph is x is less than or equal to 0. So what I'm going to do is go above 0, and I know it's a closed dot. Okay, I know it's a closed dot, and I know my arrow is going to start off like that, but I'm not going to draw it yet because I know that it's going to connect in the middle with my other graph. Okay, now I'm going to cancel or cover this one up, and I have -4 is less than or equal to x now. I could graph that like that, but it's always easier for me at least to graph them by rewriting them with the x coming first. So I'm going to do that. So I have x comes first. Okay. Then my sign is open towards my x, right? This reads x is greater than or equal to -4. So I'm going to make my sign open towards my x again. And then I have -4. And now, at least for me, that's easier to graph. Okay, so I'm going to go to -4. I'm going to do a closed dot above -4. And I'm going to connect it with my other closed dot that's above 0. That is now the graph for -4 is less than or equal to x is less than or equal to 0. That was a less than. Okay. So if you go ahead and flip this over onto the back, here are our two examples. So there are two examples on the back. Okay, so these ones we are solving and then graphing the solution. Okay, so these ones I always like to split into two separate equations as well. Okay, so what we can do is just cover up this side for now. So we have 27, -27 is less than 5x minus 7. So what I'm going to do is just rewrite that over here. Okay, so I'm going to do -27 is less than 5x minus 7. Okay, I'm sorry you guys couldn't see that. So I have -27 is less than 5x minus 7. That's my first equation I'm going to solve. Okay, and that's because once I cover this up, that's the equation I have, right? That's the left side of my equation. That's what I'll be solving first. So I know that I need to move this -7 first because it's on the same side as my x and is not attached to it. So I'm going to add 7 to both sides. Okay. -7 plus 7 cancels out. I'm left with 5x. Bring down my less than sign. -27 plus 7 would be -20. Okay. Now that 5 is multiplying my x, so I know to get rid of it, I need to do the opposite. So I'm going to divide both sides by 5. Divide both sides by 5. I'm going to rewrite this over here. Now I'm left with -4 is less than, and 5 divided by 5 is 1, so those cancel out. So I'm left with -4 is less than x. Okay, that's one of my equations that I need to solve. I am going to rewrite that though, because I always want my x on the left side. So when I rewrite that, I'm going to do x, and then this, since this opens towards my x, I'm going to make it open towards my x, and I have -4. Okay, now I'm going to do the other side of my equation. So the other side of my equation, I want to cancel, or I want to cover up the -27. So now if you can see, I have 5x minus 7 is less than 18. So I'm going to write that over here. Okay, I'm going to do 5x minus 7 is less than 18. And now I'm going to solve this just like I did the other problem. Okay, so all of these we're going to be solving two separate problems for them. Okay, so please stay tuned for the next video. I will finish this example, and then I will hopefully finish example 2 as well in the next video, video 3. So thank you for